Uh, Great. Welcome everyone to Sports Opinions with Regular Guys, season number 2. Now we've been off for a little while for the last 3 months for obvious reasons, but glad that Mike, you're back here with me.
Yep.
You know,
Nice to be back.
Back here to do the show right in time for the beginning of football season. So a lot of things have happened, obviously, from the off season of the NBA, which not really much to say. Well, I guess stuff has happened, and back to football. So we're back to sports again to bring in the fall. And so this Labor Day special, what we're going to get into is obviously the upcoming NFL season, which starts on Thursday between the Rams and who's they playing?
They're playing
Bills.
the Bills.
Yes.
High impact game.
Yep, the fresh champions and Super Bowl champions from this past season. The LA Rams are going to be hosting the Buffalo Bills.
Yes, they will.
And that's going to be an interesting game. That's a really good game to start the season off, I think. And then we're going to get into all of the other games on Sunday, including, of course, the Bears. You know, and want to talk about their game against the 49ers and what I think their expectations will be for the season, as well as some of these other teams we're going to go over with. So with no further ado, again, I'm Frank. This is Mike, and let's get into it. What do you say? Start by getting into the Bears.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Our Chicago Bears, you know, fresh off their bad season last year and cleaning house in the offseason, which was well overdue, are going to host the San Francisco 49ers, which are led by Trey Lance, who is being backed up by Jimmy G. And so last year, the Bears did good job. Justin Fields had a pretty decent game last year, and the Bears could have won that game, but the defense completely fell apart and let Jimmy G shred them apart. Now they're gonna make the same mistake and let Trey Lance. I'm sorry, I keep saying that. Trey Lance, not rookie, but second-year player.
Yeah.
Come out and shred the Bears up again. We'll see. Now I know that Mike has some high hopes for the Bears. Unfortunately, I don't feel that optimistic about it. I believe that the Bears this is a rebuilding year. And so my expectations aren't very high for them at all, because I believe it's a rebuilding process. I do believe they're going to probably it's a good chance for an upset. It's a possibility an upset could take place and it could upset San Francisco, possibly. But we'll see. It's a toss-up because both offenses are going to be very good.
Okay.
So it's going to come down to the defenses. I think that San Francisco's defense is much better. We know how good San Francisco's defense is against Green Bay.
They are.
And everyone else. So I would probably say if it's going to be on the defense, I'd probably slight edge to the 49ers. I do got the Bears might hang in there, but let's be realistic. I got them winning 3 or 4 games this season.
All right.
So
that's where I feel like that's ridiculous, right? I mean, look at the Bears. Look how they played in the preseason. This is the best I've seen them play in the preseason in like the past 5 years. It was. And we're not even counting the fact that Justin Fields went the first 2 games without throwing a touchdown. Well, basically he didn't do anything the first 2 games except come out and throw the ball around. We still mustered 20 points per game in the playoffs. In the preseason. To me, that's really good news because before our offense looked like it was horrible. Watching that last third game, I watched it with Frank, and you know I actually came over here to come criticize,
talk shit.
Yeah, okay. I came here to talk shit about Justin Fields, and you know what? He shut me up. He threw 3 touchdowns. His throws looked really clean, really accurate. You know, except for the one he overthrew the top of his receivers. I can't remember exactly which receiver, but otherwise, the man looked good. He played a half, and he threw 3 touchdowns. So that gave me a lot of hope because 1, we were unbeaten, and 2, this guy was looking pretty good against a pretty good defense. So Frank is giving our Bears 4 wins. for the season. I think that's hard. That's harsh.
That's hard for me to say, but I gotta be realistic.
7.
And just to,
7 games. 7 games minimum.
Just to go back on what you were saying, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
About the preseason and go 3-0.
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Preseason does not count. 1. 2, Justin Fields only played 1 series in the first game, or 2 series in the first game, 1 series in the second game. Why are you gonna? He's not gonna really tell you anything. When he played the third game, he played the first half, and you saw what he did. So that was great, But
Do you look comfortable?
he did look comfortable. So I think he might be a little bit more comfortable with this offense, with this coaching staff, that hopefully knows how to coach a quarterback, unlike the previous coaching staff. We'll see. But this is more of let's see what Justin Fields can do, is development. So I'm not looking at the season as anything competitive. If they say competitive, great. Hey, that's icing on the cake if they can improve on last year. That would be unexpected, but they got a lot of 1-year contract players.
Which are hungry, and they're going to be playing their hearts out. They're not going to be entitled players who feel like, oh, I'm getting paid $70 million
Bears
a
went on
year,
the
so
cheap.
my toe hurts, so I'm not going to play for 5 or 6 games. These guys are
Oh,
going to
I
be
agree.
out there.
Look, the Bears had to
putting
get rid
it
of
on
the
the
dead
line.
weight. They had to get rid of the dead weight.
Which
You're
they
right.
did.
Yes, and they were, and that's what I'm saying. It's a rebuilding year. They had no decent draft picks this season. This upcoming season, let's just be real, they're not going to be very good. Okay?
How? Why not?
I just don't see it.
Why not? They cleaned house.
Yes,
They have a
and
bunch
they had to.
of hungry players that are
These
there.
are all 1-year players that
These
are just
hungry
meant.
players are going to be a household name by next year. Watch. Watch. Just watch. Watch. First
Is this the
game.
Matrix? You got the red pill or the blue pill? Because let me just speak a little bit of reality to you. These are 1-year players. The Bears they built this team this year to suck, so that they can have a good draft pick, and they're gonna have a whole bunch of money next year to spend on free agency and a top tier pick. It's all you need to get the team to compete next year. And I believe this season is a throwaway season, for rightfully so, and I'm not mad about it. Because it's necessary. It's necessary to build for the next 5 to 10 years. And let's sacrifice this year and get these 1-year players, stink it up like they're going to do anyway with these teams. Win 3 or 4 games. And then next season, they're going to have their number 1 pick. They haven't lost that. They can compete for the number 1 overall pick. And they're going to have a lot of money to get free agents in here and build a powerhouse team on both ends of the field. Get a good top tier offense. That's what I want to see. I want to see Justin Fields with some top tier receivers and have a top tier offense, a top 5 offense, top tier player as far as yardage goes, MVP candidate possibly. I want a good running game. I want good defense. And you're going to build around defense and offense through draft and through free agency. Mm-hmm. And they got plenty of money next season to do that. This season is just to see where Justin Fields can develop, how he develops. Hopefully he doesn't get injured, and develop him. And the rest of it, and see what other little pieces he can probably see what's around him. They can think about keeping, like Kmet, the tight end. That's a good thing. That's a good piece to keep. Montgomery, maybe he might have a couple of years left. Okay, so you got some pieces there. But everyone else, that offensive line, you got to build that up.
We haven't had a chance to really see them.
Now they will be able to in this upcoming season.
Didn't we see them game 3? They stayed the entire first half, and guess what? They protected him against who? What defense were they playing against?
I can't look. Preseason is a complete. You know this.
Preseason
is a completely different animal from the regular season.
It gives you a good idea of what these guys are going to be doing and what they're going to be doing this year. Like last year, Justin Fields sucked.
They'll probably play harder, Mike, but the talent is going to come down to talent.
You're going to see
the Bears are going to be out talented by a lot of these teams, and that's why I say 3 to 4 wins. It's not a bad thing to say that because everybody, all the experts have the Bears being bad. And for the first time, for the first time ever, I'll agree with them when it comes to the Bears. Because normally I don't agree with the word that they say. I don't like them talking about the Bears. I hate them talking about my Bears because all they do is talk about East Coast shit and they don't know what to talk when it comes down to the teams here. They don't know anything about Chicago and Chicago teams. Just my opinion on it. But I will give them the benefit of the doubt this season because I happen to agree with them. This is, to me, I see this as a rebuilding year for the Bears. Start the rebuilding process in the next year with a good pick, maybe a couple of trades to get even a better pick, especially if they're not going to sign Roquan Smith. If they're not going to re-sign him, they're going to have that's money off the books there. They're going to use it, even spend and get better and more free agency here to get that defense to be a top tier defense and get a top tier offense. We got the tools to do it. Where I do think we're going to be great as special teams.
Okay.
I think we're going to be good on there, like we have been. We have the kicker in place, and that's what's important. People understand this. Special teams is still a very important part of the game, even though they're trying to phase part of it out. Because when is special teams important? In key times of the game, especially playoff games. Boy, we know that more than anybody.
Ask the Packers.
Ask the Bears with was it Parkey?
Yes.
Cody Parkey in the playoffs a couple of years ago.
Boing.
The double joint that those douchebags on NBC say. You know,
yeah, that's what it was.
So that's all I'm trying to say. This year, I had to kind of throw it away. Hey, if they overachieve, great.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather for them not to because they're gonna stink. I expect them to be bad. Just be bad. Get a top tier pick, get a top 3 pick at least.
Okay.
If they get a top 3 pick, and all the money spent on free agency, NFL is not that hard to rebuild to change it around the next year. If you got the money and the draft picks to do it, they can do it. And that's why I'm saying next year. This year, to me, is a throwaway. Let the Packers beat up on the Bears this year. Let the Vikings and all these teams beat up on the Bears. Just win a couple of games. Just don't go unwinnable like the Lions did that one year. You don't want to go 0-17.
Dude, that is not
I got 3 to 4 wins. They do more than that. Hey, great. I'm looking for Justin Fields development, and that's what I'm really looking at.
Okay, so like I listen to ESPN. I love watching ESPN.
Of course you do.
That's where I get.
They don't talk about the Bears a lot.
They talk about plenty about the Bears. You just don't watch it enough to see it. But either way, they have them going out as under 6 games, six wins.
Yes.
To me, I think that's ridiculous because I'm looking at. You're looking at at their schedule. The 49ers were playing Trey Lance. We're getting this win this weekend. That's going to happen. The Packers, I'm throwing that up in the air because when we get to them, we'll talk about, the great Aaron Rodgers without any wide receivers to throw the ball to, anyone reliable throw the ball to. The Texans, you tell me we can't beat the Texans or the New York Giants? Come on. Those are 3 wins right there. The Washington Commanders, the Vikings, is Kirk Cousins really going to be pulling through like that? I mean, we have so many chances to win. The only games I see that are hard games here are the boys, the Cowboys. The Patriots are always tough. It's Bill Belichick. We can't beat the Dolphins? Is Tua even going to be healthy by that week? The Lions? I mean, we have lots of opportunity to win here, and I just find it hard to believe that we're sold under 6 wins.
So now you look at the schedule. I'm going to be realistic here.
Mm-hmm.
I probably see them losing to the 49ers Sunday.
I can't wait.
That could be a
toss-up. Watch this
toss-up
game here with you.
I mean, look.
Is it okay if I watch this game with you?
You can watch it.
Are you guys going to watch the entire game?
I am going to watch the game. I want the Bears to win. I do. But let's take a look here. I think they're going to lose to the 49ers. They're going to lose to the Packers. I think they'll beat the Texans. They probably beat the Giants. They'll probably lose to the Vikings, lose to the Commanders, lose to the Patriots, lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Dolphins, and then win against the Lions, lose to the Packers, lose to the Eagles.
Even the Falcons?
Hold on.
Even the Falcons?
Go up. I got to beat in the Falcons.
Okay.
I got to beat in the Jets.
Okay.
I got to beat in the Lions. So I got 3 wins there. And then I got the other 2 against the Giants and the Texans. That's 5. I'll go after that. And that's it. That's all I got. Maybe the Seahawks and maybe the Browns. So there could be a chance that they could possibly get 6 wins. But I got 3 to 4 wins.
That was the preseason.
Oh, my fault.
So we won all those.
So there we go. I got them. We're gonna probably lose to the Vikings
again.
Yeah.
So they're gonna beat us twice.
They beat them twice last year. They won like 4 in a row against the Bears.
All right.
This year is probably gonna be the same. Now, I do got them winning these 3 games: the Lions, the Falcons, and the Jets, on top of the other 2, which is again the Giants and the, who did you say go up again? Texans. Lovey comes back to town, but he's coming with a shitty team. So they might win. They'll probably go 0-2, and then they'll win their first game on the 25th against the Texans and win against the Giants. They'll be at 500. That's the closest to 500 they're going to be. After that, I see them losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go up again, and it's 5. Yeah, like
I mean,
5,
that's
6.
that's a lot of.
Well, shit. Look what they do last year. They lost like 5 or 6 in a row. Remember? So I don't see anything different happening here. And the Falcons, the Jets, and the Lions. That's a toss up too, because bad teams are bad teams, and so maybe they might beat the Lions. They might lose to the Lions. They might lose to the Falcons. They might lose all those games. But those games you see on the schedule, there are 5 winnable games, possibly 6 winnable games.
And we're not going to throw in.
They might, by the time
we're
they
not
play
going to throw in the surprise games where they pull out games against teams.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. These guys are hungry.
Everyone's hungry. I don't get it.
These guys
Everyone's
are
hungry.
These guys are playing
It comes
for,
to talent.
for contracts.
It comes to talent. It
I
comes
don't
to
know.
talent.
They look a
It
little
doesn't even matter
different.
about the coaching. It comes to the
They
talent.
look a little different this year for me.
They look like they're a little bit better coached. I give you that, but the talent is the talent.
Okay.
You know that. But so overall, let's go over this. So with that being said, I have it a toss-up, leaning 49ers winning this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears win it.
Bears win it.
And I got the score
We
being,
win it by 10.
I'll say, 2017. Oh, I'm just saying. I'm just being realistic. San Francisco's defense is the key to me because their defense is good.
Okay.
Okay, and you see what they do when they play good. They only gave up 10 points to the Green Bay or 3
But
points.
our defense is also pretty good too.
The Bears got rid of a lot of the players.
And
and
you
they
have
just-
Trey Lance. We're sitting here forgetting the fact that Trey Lance is going to be throwing the ball against the Bears. If we don't get 2 interceptions this weekend, I will be very surprised.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that
Because we're going to be picking him off.
Let's look into that. There's one thing we haven't really mentioned here, and now we're talking about this game. Since we got it, we're talking about it. Let's go on the other side of the ball, the 49ers.
Okay.
So the 49ers decided to have
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance, I keep forgetting his name. Trey Lance be the starter, and they end up re-signing Jimmy Garoppolo, as a backup role with a lot of incentives on his contract. So it's kind of I have an idea why they're doing this. Because I sure didn't think that Jimmy G was going to be on the 49ers. But they decided, well, hey, look, we're not 100% sure about Trey Lance. So we want Jimmy G here, but we don't want him to start. Which I think is the wrong decision. If you're going to bring Jimmy G in here, then you might as well just sign him to be your starter.
For what?
And then let Trey Lance learn off of him, and then you bring him in there. You know, but if you knew your future set with Trey Lance, which I obviously think it is, they're not confident he's ready. Otherwise, you would have let Jimmy G walk out the door like, we're not even going to pay you. Goodbye. We're bringing the backup to take over. Right? Right or wrong? What is your opinion on it? Because that's what I think.
So here's the Jimmy Garoppolo thing, right?
That's why we gave him a 1-year deal.
So here's the
$6.5
thing.
million.
Here's the thing with him, right? So
Can we $16 million with bonuses?
We already know that this man is not gonna win the big game. We already know what he's not gonna do in the playoffs. His defense carried him last year. We saw it. We saw it against the Packers. And what team they go on to lose against the very next game? And he didn't do. They
lost
very
against
much.
the Rams.
The Rams. Well, we know how that went. But come on, you can see what he was doing. He wasn't throwing no touchdowns, barely getting the ball out of his hands. He's just not the man for the job, and that's why they were trying to get rid of him. He was injured, and they ended up keeping him for that time. But everyone knew that they were trying to shop him. You heard stories about the Carolina Panthers. You heard stories about him going to the Browns, obviously, for Deshaun Jackson. I mean, there were so many different, avenues of him leaving. They all said they wanted, thank you for your service, thank you for your time here, but they wanted to move on from him. They went with Trey Lance. And guess what? They couldn't get Garoppolo away. They couldn't get him away. So he ends up staying, gets a $6.5 fully guaranteed contract.
Could be worth $16 million.
With bonuses,
yeah.
They go up to $16 million. This for a backup quarterback?
That just tells you that I don't trust Trey Lance. They don't trust him.
So why get rid of Garoppolo? Why not have him start then?
That's what I was trying to say. They should put Jimmy G in there to start. If you don't trust, because what they're trying to say is, don't be surprised if Jimmy G ends up getting back in there, starting because Trey Lance has an injury or he has bad games developed.
By game 3 or game 4, Jimmy G will be starting because Trey Lance will be throwing interceptions like Brett Favre used to.
Well, definitely towards the end of his career. But hey, we'll see what happens. I do think that it will be enough for them to beat the Bears. And something tells me probably not special teams, but the defense screwing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year, they got all the way down and they took the lead and they could have won the game. Same thing that happened with the Rams. I think it was the Ravens and the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of games that the Bears that Justin Fields did get them the lead at the end of the game, and the defense couldn't hold it.
Okay, I'll give you those because I remember watching.
That wasn't his fault, but I see something similar to that happening here, where they get down towards the end of the game, they kick a field goal and win the game 20-17.
I can see that happening
because the Niners are a good defense. They don't give up a lot of points, especially on offensively struggling teams like the Bears, who have no names and no proven talent on offensive end that they don't have to double team anybody.
Okay.
And that's what that's all I'm trying to say on it. But it's fine because, again, this is a rebuilding season for the Bears. The 49ers should win this. I believe they're favored to win by 7, only because of Trey Lance. Don't even be surprised if Trey Lance has a horrible game and they throw in Jimmy G in there and he saves the day. I wouldn't be surprised about that.
I can see that happening too.
He throws 3 picks in the first half or something like that.
Oh, you're talking about against the Bears?
Yes, I wouldn't be that.
I don't want to see that.
Huh?
I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see the Bears pick him off 3 times?
I want to see them pick off Trey Lance.
That's what I'm trying to say. They pick off Trey Lance 3 times, and then they end up putting Jimmy G in, to play the rest of the game and the rest of the season. I wouldn't be dead surprised about that.
Yeah.
But we did spend a significant amount of time on this. So I got the Bears winning 3 to 4 games. You didn't say what you got them winning.
I have them winning 7 to 8 games this season. We won 6 last year. 2 of them with Justin Fields, the rest, with backup quarterbacks.
So they're gonna go 8 and 9.
So you're telling me that we can't win? We can't get 2 more wins with this? Looks to me healthier team. Looks like a younger team, and if I'm not mistaken, that offense that I'm seeing kind of looks like a West Coast offense. Seeing Justin Fields roll out to the right, then having Cole Kmet. Get open.
There were some plays out there that were really good,
and him just tossing an easy toss to the that looked different. That looked different.
Oh, some of the passes that Fields did, oh my God, they were great. You saw the touchdown passes were all great, and if they can catch the ball, the man can throw the ball. He has an arm on him; it can be accurate. If you give him time in the pocket, and there's someone open, he'll throw it to.
Look, Darnell Mooney is going to have a spectacular season this year. That's
their only threat. When they double him, was on the open.
It didn't matter last year, right? I mean, he dropped some balls, but at the end of the day, the man was securing the ball. He had over 1,000 yards receiving last year with several different quarterbacks. So you already know what's going to happen this year. If Fields can stay healthy and play like he did last week, I think Moody's going to have like a 1,200 to 1,300 yard receiving season.
Well, you are very confident. I mean, that would be great if that can happen because, again, all I want to see is development of Justin Fields and let him get better. Even though I don't believe the Bears, record-wise, will show that. some talent, yes, it would show that. But again, this is
What did you think about what do you think about our backup, Trevor Siemian?
what about him?
What do you think about him? I mean, he's a veteran.
Yeah, but he had more time in the preseason.
He's a veteran.
Well, he'll be a decent backup in case something happens to Fields.
I feel more confident with him replacing Fields if anything were to happen to Fields than having Andy Dalton or Nick Foles, as backups. I think Trevor Siemian has a pretty strong arm, has pretty good wheels on him. He's as tall as Justin Fields, so I mean.
Well, it comes down to the offensive coordinator and the offensive plays that they run. It's not the same bullshit. Run a play and the defensive team can already sniff out what you're going to be doing.
Right.
How many times have we see that shit the last couple of years?
Right.
I'm like, come on. I like to see something where they don't expect it to go. And so but I still think overall, talent-wise, the Bears' talent is not going to be. They don't have a lot of good talent on the team that's going to be competing against some of these teams like the Pro Bowlers that are on the 49ers. That's just all I'm saying. I want to see Justin Fields develop, and I hope he does, and I hope he gets better because he is the future of this team. Whether you like it or not, he is the future of this team. But with that being said, what else do you have to say about the Bears?
I'm eager to watch him play.
Okay.
I mean, I've been waiting all summer.
Shit, you've been waiting
I've been
since
waiting to watch
January,
him,
right?
to watch him,
when they got rid of Nagy and company.
To see what's happening, especially with the new coach, new GM, all these new players. I mean, I'm excited to see what the Bears have for us this year. I have expectations, good expectations, because I'm not a fan of watching my favorite team play for 3 to 3.5 hours just to watch them lose. I get no pleasure from that. Why would I want to think about, hey, you know what? I can't wait to watch the Bears play. I know they're gonna get whooped, but I want to watch them play
because maybe they can pull off an upset.
That
no,
brings me no excitement.
Yeah, but what are you? But you also have expectations of the team too.
They're professional players.
But you gotta have expectations of what you think they're going to do.
7 to 8 games.
Okay.
So we'll come back to this at the end.
We're
of the
not
season.
that far apart. We're only a couple of games apart.
Well, you were at 4.
Yes, I am. I'm at 3 to 4 wins.
I'm doubling that. So, that's a big difference. I mean, we might even make the playoffs with that. You never know what kind of
7 wins. That means the conference has to suck like hell, or the division has to be even worse.
Yep.
I don't think that's happening, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with the 49ers because I think they're a good team defensively, and their defense can carry them games.
All right.
But we'll see what happens. They can definitely carry them this game, but we'll see what happens. I hope the Bears win because I'm a Bears fan. I'm not wearing this Bears shirt for nothing. But I also cannot just sit there and get all excited. I am excited. I'm glad football is back. But I don't have any high expectations for the Bears. So I'm not going to get all excited and say, oh, they're going to win 10 games. They're going to win 12 games. They're not. This is a rebuilding year.
10
I know
to 12
what it is.
is kind of high. That is high.
10 to, yeah, but that'll guarantee you the playoffs. I'm not going to say that. You got more optimistic 6 to 8 wins. I don't have them anywhere near that. I don't have them near 8 wins. I have them at 3 to 4 wins. And that's realistic with the talent that they got and what their expectations are. So I am excited to see what the other teams are doing. The Bears are going to be the Bears this season. Let's just be realistic. But we'll see. Let's see 2 months from now. Let's see how you.
Well, we'll be talking about it every week.
We are. Well,
but
we spent the last half hour on the Bears, which is necessary because this is a Chicago sports opinionated show focused on Chicago sports, and we get into other stuff too. So I don't mind spending a good portion of the show talking about my Bears.
Exactly.
And when my Bulls come out, we'll be talking about that. So.
Well, we'll get to the Bulls and Mr. Ball in a minute.
But let's go into some of these other games. So most notably the first game of these seasons coming up.
Some predictions.
Yeah, but let's start with this Yeah, let's start predictions, and we'll talk about these games, some of them too, if it's necessary to talk about them.
Yeah.
Let's begin with Thursday's game with the Bills and the Super Bowl champion.
Who do you got winning that?
Rams.
Who do you got winning that?
I got the Bills winning it. I got the Bills pulling off the upset, and I got them winning. The Rams are a good team. They're going to be a good team, but I don't have them winning the Super Bowl. I really don't. They may not even be going to the Super Bowl, but I definitely don't have them winning it. And this is going to be a reality check. They got their Super Bowl win, but now they're going to win some games. Don't get me wrong.
Still got a defense.
But I do believe the Bills are going to come out there in LA. It's ring night and all the ceremonies and the emotions
That's usually
and all
what
that.
happens anyways.
The Bills are like, hell with this. We got upset in the playoffs by Cincinnati. And we have something to prove, and we're hungry.
Yep.
And they're going to come out. Josh Allen is going to have a hell of a game against that defense because that defense may not be the same as last year's, and they haven't played together, much in the offseason. And so it's a perfect setting for an upset.
Yep.
Week 1 upset. I got the Bills. I'd say 34 to 21.
Ooh, high scoring game.
High scoring, but it's not going to be close. It's going to be a pretty decent win, sizable win, clear-cut win for Buffalo.
All right. Well, I got the Bills winning too. I think Josh Allen is going to have himself a revenge season. And I have him going back to the playoffs again. He has the tools to do it. And nothing taken away from the Rams. My only issue with the Rams is the fact that Stafford's been hurt
Can he stay
all
healthy?
preseason.
Can he stay healthy?
He hasn't really been throwing the ball. He hasn't been doing much. And I think he's going to be very rusty when he plays that game. So, yeah, it will be a high-scoring game. And, yeah, because of the ceremony, all these teams always do that. They put all that energy in the ceremonies and everything. They celebrate, and then they get blown out, which is what I expect to happen. So, yeah, Bills win. Score. I'll go with the 34 to 27. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Okay. Well, we can never count the Rams when you have the best receiver in the league, Cooper Kupp, who is always a threat.
MVP numbers.
Now, the Bills have a good defense, so can they shut him down a little bit? OBJ ain't playing. He's still out, right? He's out for the whole season, I think, isn't he? Or most of the
I'm
season.
not sure the whole season, but yeah, he's not
He
starting.
ain't playing in this game.
Nope.
So I got the Bills.
All right.
Now,
Saints and Falcons.
we start with the slate of Sunday games, starting with the Saints on the road going to Atlanta to play the first time in God, how many years? No Matt Ryan on the Falcons. And the Falcons are in a complete 100% rebuilding mode. So this is a no-brainer to me. I have the Saints winning this game.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Well, for me, I think Marcus Mariota is going to try and come out. He's going to try and put his imprint on this game. I actually have the Falcons winning this game myself, and I think Marcus Mariota is going to have a killer game. You have a whole lot of new names, and just like the Bears, got a whole lot of hungry players on Atlanta right now. And I know everyone's saying, oh, yeah, this is a rebuilding time for him, which, it probably is. But I got a chance to watch him play, and, they looked a little impressive. So I think they're going to be a sleeper team this year. So I got the Falcons winning this.
Wow. I don't feel that. I don't have that optimistic of that outlook for Atlanta. I got them being one of the worst teams in the league. So I think they might have a worse record than the Bears. So I don't feel that at all. I understand. I don't know what Kool-Aid you're drinking.
No Kool-Aid.
I got the Saints doing better than the Falcons. And I don't really got the Saints doing that much myself. So I got the Falcons losing. I got the Saints winning that game. And we already talked about the Bears and the 49ers. Next is we got the Steelers and the Bengals. And guess what? Announced today, Mitch Trubisky, former former Bears number 1 pick in 2016.
The truth.
Is going to be starting for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin has all confidence in the world that Mitchell Trubisky, the one that you guys gave up on, is going to be the savior for and the predecessor to Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Wait a minute. You guys gave up on. You didn't give up on him too. I can swear you gave up.
It was time for a change.
All right,
but it was more than just him changing. He had that coaching staff too.
It was the coach. The man has an arm. He does have an arm. He might not be the most accurate guy, but he has an arm.
Well,
And, he came back and won some games for us, too. I remember some of the games.
He won some games with us. But those last couple of years, he just digressed. And then you put
no line and bad coaching.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe they didn't give him enough time, but nonetheless, he's in the Steelers. He's playing the Bengals. Unfortunately, his losing is going to continue because I think the current AFC champion Bengals they're at home to play the game. It's a noon game. They're gonna beat the Steelers.
Are you forgetting who the Steelers coach is? You don't think that he's going to be very defensive minded against the Cincinnati Bengals?
Well, I just think the Bengals are just a better team. It doesn't matter who they have on that team. Even if Ben was on that team, the same result was going to happen last year. Didn't he retire him?
Okay.
Or if I'm not mistaken, I forgot what was they retired him, but same result. Steelers they're not a good team. They're in the transition. How do you want to say it?
Mm-hmm.
They're not rebuilding, but they're not up there at the upper echelon of the league. Especially Big Ben retiring. They were basically not that good then. I just
almost made the playoffs.
I see them.
Well, did they make the playoffs?
They made the playoffs.
Yeah, they made the playoffs.
But I see them competing for a playoff spot, but not making the playoffs. Maybe a 500, maybe like a 9-18. That's what I got. The Steelers, Cincinnati, I got them of a 12 or 13 win team.
This team here, I'll agree with you.
I got Cincinnati winning this, and I'm going to say this is not even going to be close. I'm going to say 27-13.
Okay, not so bad. Yeah, I got the Bengals winning too. It's going to be Mitch's first helmet at quarterback for the Steelers.
It started a couple of years, right?
He is going to be the captain of the team because they already, named him the captain, I believe, today.
Yeah, he was started today.
It's going to be a new little transition, but I've always felt like the Steelers were a better version of the Bears. Whenever I see the Steelers, I see the Bears, but better. Defensively, even sometimes how they grind the offense with just running and running, it reminds me so much of the Bears. But unfortunately, I think Joe Burrow is going to have himself a killer game, and I think this is going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be about 34 to maybe 10.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be. I think it's going to be a bad one. I'm surprised you felt that way about it too, but
I said 13.
Yeah.
So I think Mitch might get a touchdown, probably a garbage touchdown or something like that towards
the end. Yeah.
So I got 27-13. I'm not going to even. That's why I say I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be pretty much a well-controlled game by Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is going to get his. He's probably going to throw in like 250 yards, and their defense is going to completely shut down for the most part, most of the game. Mitch Trubisky and the Steelers. And, I mean, it's not going to be – that's definitely not an upset no means because we're talking Cincinnati's defending the AFC champions. I mean, they could have won the Super Bowl last year.
They could have. It was close.
Yeah. So, I think we're both in agreement, Cincinnati?
Yes.
All right. So, moving on to the next game. We have the Philadelphia Eagles on the road to play the Detroit Lions.
I got the Eagles winning this.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, baby. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, this is another one of those games where, well, you never know. Week one is always a funky type of week where it can always be upsets.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a potential for an upset, but I think the Eagles are going to have control of this game. The Lions are the same old Lions. I think we'll agree with that.
Yeah.
And I got the Eagles winning this. I'm not even going to take a chance. Eagles winning this. It could be a closer game than expected, but I think at the end the Eagles will win this game.
Where's this game? Oh, it's in
Detroit. That's why it might be a little bit closer.
Look at how cheap those tickets. $53.
Well, I mean, look at the Bears. How much is the Bears?
$187. It's for the cheapest tickets.
That's expensive. Well, I mean, but you want to watch the Lions roar against the Eagles?
Why not? We're going to watch them lose.
So
next,
what do you got? Well, you didn't say who you had.
Oh, I have the Eagles win this. I have Jalen Hurts. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks right now in the league. I root for him.
Who's the quarterback for the Lions? Is no one
Jared Goff.
He's still the quarterback?
Yes, he is.
I got him, I got the score 21-37 Eagles.
Man, I just think really quick. I really think it's crazy, right? Jared Goff came from the Rams, where he was competing every year and he was throwing for like 4,000 plus yards every year. He was winning like every season. He was a winner, and then he just goes over to the Lions, and just as usual, you're taking a guy that was potential Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you get a quarterback who gets into a Super Bowl and wins it. So I mean,
that's crazy. Then the guy that was on the Lions losing every season goes out to the Rams, and all of a sudden win Super Bowl.
Well, didn't Tom Brady leave the Patriots and go
crazy.
to Tampa Bay and win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but Stafford was losing for 10 years basically in Detroit before
He's
he got.
lost. The minute he went there, he's lost.
My goodness.
So you got the
I got the Eagles, yeah.
Okay. So moving on.
Yep.
Another divisional AFC Eastern Conference matchup.
This is gonna be very interesting.
The Patriots on the road, mac and cheese and the Pats.
Yes.
Against the Tua and the Fins, the Dolphins in Miami.
Let's not forget about the cheetah. Let's not forget that Tua has the cheetah now. Remember the cheetah from Kansas City?
Well,
that's who he's throwing the ball to now. So you can't forget about Tyreek Hill. So
I think it's a mistake he left Kansas City. But,
absolutely.
I got the Dolphins winning this.
Against the Patriots, huh?
Yes. I don't think mac and cheese is still not ready. I don't think he's going to have a good game.
Ooh.
I think
so
the Dolphins
Tua's going to have a good game against the Patriots.
Yes,
huh?
I think. Tua and a mixture of Tyreek Hill, and I think their defense is going to show out. And I think Mac Jones or mac and cheese is going to have a multiple interception game. I got the Dolphins winning 24-3.
Wow. So let me get this straight. The Miami Dolphins are going to put up 24 points
Yes.
on the New England Patriots.
Yes.
The Bill Belichick-led New England Patriots.
Yes.
And then the Patriots are only going to muster 3 points, a field goal, out of this.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes, I
have that backwards. I have that backwards.
Of course you do.
I have that backwards.
You got
The
mac and
Patriots-
cheese being the next Tom Brady to you.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, he has a lot of potential. Tua's good, but not that good. He has the cheetah, but will he be able to get that ball to the cheetah? Because I saw that. Did you see that long pass that he threw to the cheetah in the
I didn't see
preseason? Oh, man, it looked nothing like Patrick Mahomes' arm. It looked nothing like it because Mahomes, it looks like it's powerful. It's going straight to it. It was all swirly and barely was caught. I mean, I don't know,
It was
man.
caught.
I don't know. It looked like a weak
As
arm.
long as it's caught.
It looked like a weaker arm than Mahomes. So I don't know what Cheetah's
So what
saying.
you got?
So I got the Patriots winning this. And as I said, it's reversed. I have the Patriots putting up 24. I have the Dolphins putting up 10 points.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, the Patriots. Come on.
Next is we have the Ravens and the Jets. No doubt a scout saying I got Lamar Jackson having a hell of a game against the crappy Jets.
Yep.
35-7.
Well,
That's
Lamar
it.
hasn't thrown the ball in the preseason, so that's
He'll be just fine against the Jets.
Their defense are usually pretty good.
The
Their
Jets are
offense
going to
sucks.
lose double-digit games this season. Let's
Ooh.
not fool ourselves for another overrated New York
Are you
team.
serious right now?
Okay, let's get a little East Coast for just 10 seconds here.
Here we go.
Who's going to win more games, Jets or the Giants? And how many? Okay, I got the Jets winning 3 games. I got the Giants winning maybe 5 games.
You know,
They're both going to be crap.
You know the Jets do have Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
You know,
What's he
Super
done?
Bowl champion Joe Flacco.
But I believe Zach Wilson is the quarterback.
He is. He'll be pulled, and it'll be Joe Flacco in there.
And who else have they got? We're going to rely on Elijah Moore.
I mean, Michael Carter actually ran for over 1,000 yards, well, almost 1,000 yards last year, and received for about 500. So he's a good pickup.
What are you trying to say? Because I got this being a complete blowout from the start. I got Lamar Jackson throwing some touchdowns as well as running the ball. So he'll probably have 2 touchdowns, two rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. And again, the Ravens will just completely destroy the Jets. It's not going to be close.
I have the Ravens winning also.
Okay.
Score, maybe the Jets put up about 13 points. The Ravens will put up about 21 to 24 points. I don't see Lamar Jackson going off like that because he hasn't done anything all preseason. He's gonna be rusty.
Okay. Well, I think he'll be just fine.
Okay.
Next is we have the Jaguars at the Commanders. The Washington football team, since we last talked, had a show, they were just called the Washington football team. Now, I believe, somewhere between they're called the Commanders now. So we're going to refer to them as the Washington Commanders. Don't call them the Redskins.
Nope.
Don't call them the Washington football team.
Nope.
Just call them, just change it. Say, we're the DC Commanders. That sounds a little bit better.
Yep.
We're the DC Commanders. So they're playing the crappy Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. Nothing against Trevor Lawrence, but the Jaguars have been one of the worst teams the last couple of years. I see that continuing. I got the Washington Commanders beating this game. Score, what do you say? 23-6. 23-6 Commanders. The Jaguars aren't going to do much. They're going to be another bad team, like the Lions and like the Jets. The Bears are going to be competing with those teams for the number 1 pick overall. So I got
the Commanders aren't bad. I mean, they do have Carson Wentz. Taylor Heineke. They do have, it's not bad. They have Antonio Gibson. They can run the ball. I mean, they're not a bad team.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, they're not. But in this game, I got them beating the Jaguars. I don't got the Jaguars doing much. This is not even a game to really talk too much about. This game is simple. Got the Commanders.
All right, I got the Commanders too.
All right. Next, we got the Browns and the Panthers. Browns at Panthers, and this is with
I can't
Deshaun Jackson. Let's go and start here with this little story here.
Mm-hmm.
So since we haven't done a show, we talked about Deshaun Watson and his urges, I guess, and the charges that were put against him that were eventually all settled with all the women.
Sexual adventures with Instagram models.
So he had got suspended 6 games by the NFL. The NFL was not happy like you. They felt he should have got the whole year, so he did. So they did an arbitration through it, and they end up appealing it, and they end up getting mostly what they wanted. They end up tacking on more games to it. So now, Deshaun Watson gets 11 game suspension starting this week. He's not eligible to play until week 12 or 13, something like that, or 12, something.
Yeah,
like that. But who's their starting quarterback in this place?
Who for Watson?
Yeah, is it Geno Smith?
No, man.
Brassett.
No, it's gonna be Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, whatever. Now, and I'm pretty sure one person's probably smiling, and that's Baker Mayfield.
Absolutely,
laughing at them.
Absolutely.
So they're playing against the Panthers, and this is an interesting matchup. Because it's 2, in my opinion, crap teams.
No.
So I'm going to take the slight edge to the Panthers to win this game. Close game, maybe 17-14. Panthers. Panthers. The Browns are going to lose. I don't think the Browns are going to win many games with what's in being gone, 11.
Yeah.
They're not going to win much.
And Brissett is not that guy.
No,
I'm sorry. I know they're
the
trying to
Bears
build him up.
picked him off a few times. So I don't got him doing anything.
He's not that guy. And after that, he got Josh Rosen,
Okay.
backing him up. Look.
And who do you...
Look. The Browns do have Nick Chubb. He can run the hell out that ball. We know what he can do. They have Kareem Hunt, 2 killer running backs. Even receiver-wise, they have a pretty good receiving core. They do have Amari Cooper, But who's going to get the ball to them? Brissett? I don't think so. So because of that, even though the Browns are built really well, they don't have a quarterback that's going to get that ball moving. So that's going to cost them. So they're going to grind, But like you said, I think Baker Mayfield is going to be coming through with a vengeance against them.
And he's playing against them. Oh, yes.
So
That's where he wins.
I can't wait to see this game because I think Mayfield is gonna make a statement against his old team that I felt wronged him by doing that to him for a guy that actually played through injuries last year, with separated shoulder, showed heart for his team, and they still let him go like that. That was just ridiculous. And the Browns deserve everything they get, especially giving the highest contract, guaranteed contract, to a rapist, a sexual assault rapist. There's nothing else you can say. I mean, no one's gonna take away the 24 women that claimed what he did. All the stories matched up to the point where he settled with all of them. What does that mean? You basically settled your way out of it. Oh, I'm clean now because I'm not in court, so I'm clean. No, dude, you're not clean. Those 24 women, that was just a little sample, because from what I heard or what I read, you had like over 66 women that you interacted with to get massages. Like you just really needed to experience all these different women's hands massaging you. Come on, man, ridiculous. So the Browns get exactly what they get this year. I think they're gonna try, but they're gonna be one of the worst teams. Even when Deshaun Watson comes back,
they threw the season away. I'll agree.
Did you see how he got booed when he came out and played that preseason game? He got booed and booed and booed. That's gonna happen to him even when he gets back.
He's only gonna play 5 games, and then even then. And by the time next season comes, they're gonna just probably forget about it.
They're not gonna forget about it, dude.
Well, I got the Panthers winning that. You got the Panthers. We agree on that.
Yep.
Next is we got the Indianapolis Colts going to Houston to play the Texans and Lovie Smith's debut as the Houston Texans coach. And unfortunately, it's not going to be for the good because I believe they got the Colts winning that game. Again, the Texans are going to be one of the worst teams in the league.
What's so good about the Colts?
They're a better team. I don't know they're going to be as good, but I got them winning the game.
Wow.
Houston's going to be bad. Let's just be honest. Houston's going to be a bad team. They were one of the worst teams in this league last year. They got draft picks for Deshaun Watson, but they got young players. So,
yeah. Well, the Texans' problem is, like you just said, young
do you
players.
Even know any of the quarterbacks?
Young, all the quarterbacks.
Kyle Allen, Jeff
Driscoll,
and
Davis Mills.
Come on.
All nobodies that Lovie Smith is going to try and make it to somebody.
Well, you don't have to worry about an offense for him. It's going to be the defense that's going to probably make an improvement. Because, Lovie Smith teams, they don't.
They need to score,
but
too.
Team after team that Lovie Smith went to, he didn't really put an emphasis on the offense, never did. So, and he has a bad team. So I got the Colts winning this game.
Yeah, I got the Colts winning. Based on the lineup, the roster.
I'll say, I don't know, score. 21-10. Well, as you know, I'll take that back. 21-7.
Yeah.
Colts.
I have the Colts winning this game, this matchup. Based on the roster, the Texans, even though they won in their preseason and everything, this is going to be the real deal. All 4 quarters, all go. So I think the Colts are going to come out and they're going to do the business this weekend. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than that. I think it's going to be about 27-14 between the Colts and the Texans, and the Colts will come out on top on this.
Okay. Now we get into the late afternoon games on Sunday, starting with the Giants, New York Giants, on the road against the Tennessee Titans. I guess it's without saying, this doesn't have to say much, talk about this much. Titans win this game.
You got the Titans winning it like that,
yes.
Huh? Did you notice Saquon Barkley came back from injury?
Okay.
He is basically what Reggie Bush used to be when he was in college, except the fact that he gets hurt. He's back. So you're going to have to worry about him. I think Daniel Jones is going to improve this year. And he has a pretty good wide receiving core. So, I mean, if they could just stay away from the stupid mistakes, interceptions, which I expect Daniel Jones to have improved this year, I think they're going to do better. The Titans, King Henry's back, right?
Yes. I got 24-3.
Damn.
Titans.
The Giants are only getting 3 points?
Yep.
Man. Wow. All right.
They're going to be one of the worst teams in the league.
I expected the Titans to put up big numbers this weekend, especially
24-3.
especially with.
Don't be surprised if
King
Daniel
Henry coming
Jones
back.
throws interceptions and Barkley fumbles the ball. I expect this to not even be close. 24-3.
Wow.
Titans.
Tough. I do expect the Titans to win this game. Like I said, Derrick Henry's is back. I mean, that's a killer team. This team is killer. They make it to the playoffs every year. They just can't finish off the job. So, yeah, I have this being 34-14.
Okay.
Titans.
Okay. So you guys to blow out too.
Yep.
Okay. And moving on to a key NFC North divisional game.
Yes.
Rivals the Packers and
Yes.
at the Vikings. This is interesting. So this will be our first glimpse. Let's talk about these teams a little
Let's
bit
go.
here. Let's start with the Green Bay
Let's
Packers.
go.
So Aaron Rodgers just got his new contract, probably the last one of his career. Nice big 5-year contract, and so he's staying in Green Bay, and so that's been taken care of. However, he did lose his key top-tier receiver in Devontae Adams, who was in Oakland, and so now he's stuck with some rookies, but he still has a veteran in Randall Cobb. Now they're playing against the Vikings, but what I will say about this is getting to the Packers, and I think we might be in agreement because we talked about this off camera, off air here. Actually, for a little while now. I do expect a little bit of a drop in Aaron Rodgers' numbers this year, only because he doesn't have the trusted receivers that he's used to having around, and I believe not his fault. But I think his interception rate might bump up a little bit this year because he's been pretty much flawless the last couple of years. But I believe this year might be a little bit different. I think his interception rate might go up just a little bit, but it won't be because of his fault. It'll be because he's throwing the ball accurately to his receivers, but these new rookie receivers who are not used to him throwing the ball to them are gonna tap the ball or drop it or get batted off of their chest or tapped off their fingers or whatever and not there in the right spots. It's gonna cause some interceptions. It's gonna cause a lot of incomplete passes. And it might cause his numbers to dip a little bit. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to put up good numbers. They still probably put up over 3,000 yards. They'll probably still put up possibly 25 to 30 touchdowns.
Yep.
I just think his interceptions may go from, 2 or 3 last year to, maybe 8 or 9 maybe, possibly. As far as the Vikings go, this is the time that you can actually get Green Bay because the Packers are not very good in opening games. And as you saw last year, what the Saints did to Aaron Rodgers last year, it tore his ass apart. I can see an upset here with the Vikings. They have a good defense, and they can get on Aaron Rodgers early. And Aaron Rodgers not played all preseason. No training camps, no nothing. You don't know what this guy's done except in the training with these rookie type receivers. So I think this is a good potential upset. The Vikings are at home. And they want to compete for the division too with the Packers. And so I actually believe I have got the Vikings winning this game. I got it with Kirk Cousins, I'll say, 28-17.
Man.
I think Aaron Rodgers might not have a very good game. He's on the road. I think he might even throw a couple of picks. I wouldn't be sad, but I think he might throw at least one interception. I think he's going to be sacked quite a few times, and I think the Vikings are going to outplay them. At home, opening game for them season. Packers are on the road. I think the Vikings will win this game.
All right. I love everything you just said. That was cool. But we are talking about the Vikings, and we are talking about Kirk Cousins. You like that, Kirk Cousins.
Not really.
No, that's his catchphrase. That's what he likes to say when he scores touchdowns.
Who says that?
Kirk Cousins.
He says what?
He says, You like that? That's what he says all the time. You don't know this? He's been doing that since Washington. So with him and the Packers, I don't know if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, Aaron Rodgers ripped his wide receiving core.
Yeah.
Because they were dropping the balls.
Yeah.
And that's not what he's used to, especially when he used to have, I'm not going to say his name, the traitor that left. And
He's not a traitor.
And went to Derek Carr.
He didn't want to play in Green Bay.
Saying that Derek Carr is a Hall of Famer like Aaron Rodgers, right? Which is ridiculous. No disrespect to Derek Carr, you're decent quarterback, which I'm sorry, you're not Aaron Rodgers or even close to it. I don't care what wide receiver they give you. You can give him all of Aaron Rodgers' leftovers, and it's still not going to happen. I expect a big fall off in his numbers too. Anyway, back to the Packers. I expect the Packers to come out with focus, and I expect this to be a statement game, especially with the fact that they have this young wide receiving core. Allen Lazard is going to be his number one wide receiver. He has Randall Cobb. I think the surprise pickup is Sammy Watkins. I think he's going to be big. If I'm not mistaken, I heard Allen Lazard is going to be hurt this first game. He's questionable. I have him in my fantasy league. He's questionable. So I expect Sammy Watkins to step in for him if he is hurt.
Well, as long as his offensive line holds up, Aaron Rodgers will be fine. But I just think when he throws to his receivers, I think they're not going to be catching his consistency. Now, we could be wrong, We'll see. I think Aaron Rodgers, of course, will get the ball to his receivers. How they're going to be able to catch it. Because, like you said, he ripped them a new asshole a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And that's not very promising.
No.
You need to catch those balls. And he has to, throw them. Maybe they're not getting the playbook right. But we'll see. We'll see. So, who did you have again?
The Pack.
And what do you have that score?
This is going to be a statement game, folks. So it's going to be I got this 27-20.
So you're basically saying that he's going to tell you that I don't care who the receivers. I'm going to throw them, and they're going to catch the ball.
It's going to be a statement game.
Okay.
He's going to demand it, just like Tom Brady demands. You do your job. They're going to have to do their jobs. And Rodgers is what? He got this humongous contract that stopped other players to get signed on this team, like quality players. So he's gonna have to show why he's getting paid this big amount of money. He's one of my favorite players. Don't get me wrong, but I think with all the money he's made already, he could have left a little bit of cap space so he can get a better core around him, especially in offensive line. Because if you can't pay those guys and protect you, you're not going to be healthy very long. So even then, I still got the Pack winning. It'll be a 7-point game. I got the Pack winning 27-20.
Okay. And moving on to another game.
Right
we
here.
have the Kansas City Chiefs coming off of a disappointing playoff run last season against the Arizona Cardinals with the Kyler Murray. Where they took the incentive out, they took the little clause out of his contract that he has to watch game film study. They took that out because it was getting a PR problem. Anyway, the Chiefs are going to Arizona to play Kyler Murray. It's going to be probably a high-scoring, gunslinging game with two young quarterbacks, top quarterbacks in the league, the future of the NFL. But I got Patrick Mahomes. I have no doubt in my mind he's going to win this game, and I think he's going to have a hell of a game. I got him throwing anywhere between 4 to 5 touchdown passes. I got this game about, I'd say 38 to 31.
Wow.
Chiefs.
Well, that's not very far from what I had it. Because I see
Kyler Murray's going to have a good game, I think.
Yeah, they're both.
But I think
both
Patrick Mahomes is going to have a better one.
Both teams are good. Both quarterbacks are good. This is going to be fireworks. Fireworks this entire game. So I called it 40 to 35 myself. I had it a little bit higher.
It might be. Because Patrick Mahomes can put up 40.
It's going to be fireworks this game.
What do you got Kyler Murray doing?
He's going to kill too. Kyler Murray's going to throw for about 300 plus yards. He's going to throw about 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
I have this happening.
Okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be high powered game. I am gonna pay attention to this game because I know it's gonna be.
I don't hear the hate and Patrick Mahomes. You got the Chiefs. You said winning.
I do have the Chiefs winning.
Okay.
Do you want to know why you don't hear any hate from because of the Patrick Mahomes thing? Because he is my starting quarterback on my fantasy team.
Of course. Wow, how did that happen? Where's Aaron Rodgers at? He's always just starting.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to pick him. Someone else got to him. But look who my wide receiver is, Darnell Mooney. I expect him to do killer things this year. Then I want to let's not get off killed here. Let's go back to our predictions.
Well, as I mentioned, I have the Chiefs winning.
I got him winning too.
Now we have another interesting game. We have the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, traveling to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. And we have the debut of Davante Adams in a Las Vegas Raiders uniform. And his new quarterback is his older quarterback from college, Derek Carr. And they're going to play the Chargers. Now, I expect that Davante Adams will have a good season. Okay, I'm not going to take that away. The man is talented. And he went for more money and a better quarterback. Went for more money and a better opportunity there in the Raiders to get out of cold Green Bay. And so I would play for Las Vegas Raiders. Unfortunately, it's not going to pan out for him this week because I like the Chargers. They're kind of a sleeper. Don't sleep on them.
I don't sleep on them either.
I got them doing some damage this season. I got them having a really good record. I don't know if Super Bowl, it's kind of early, but I do got them winning about 12 to 13 games. And I think they're gonna take care of the Raiders. I believe they will beat them. I believe they play them twice a year, but this is in LA. So I got the Chargers winning this game. Maybe when the game is in Vegas, maybe the Raiders will win that. But I got the Chargers winning this game, hands down. I will say Justin Herbert, right? I'm gonna say.
He's pretty good too.
Yeah,
no sleep on him either.
I'll say 28-14. That's what I say.
Fair.
28-14.
Fair enough. So my opinion on the disgraced Raiders. Well, they're not
disgraced Raiders.
I
mean, their coach is a little disgraced, and you don't like the receiver.
Did you see him on TV the other day?
John Gruden.
When he.
No, I didn't see him.
This dude had this apology, right? He was sitting right here where I'm sitting, and he has a group of people sitting around him. And this was supposed to be an apology. And his apology was, well, we all make mistakes, right? Everybody in this room here has made some sort of mistake, right? Right? So, I'm a human too, so I want to go on ahead and I want to, get another shot. I make mistakes, so maybe I like to get another shot.
Once you work for ESPN and work for the NFL Network, they won't hire him.
To me, it looked more like a pep rally. The way he was sitting there and everybody around him was like, yeah.
Why all of a sudden was he out there? Was he just
He's trying to make a comeback. Yeah. He's trying to make a comeback.
It's too soon for that, or it's too late for that.
It's too early.
Yeah.
Give it another year or two, and maybe you can show up in some sort of a booth and be, and talk in there. But
it's
right
too
now,
toxic for the booth.
It just didn't look so. It didn't look emotional. It didn't look like there was no empathy. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't there. At least put a little empathy in your voice. Oh my God, I'm so sorry that I did this. I feel ashamed. But no, we make mistakes, right? So
that's not going to help you.
So no, it's not. Anyway, I do have the Chargers winning because Davante Adams is like the only threat on the wide receiving core in Las Vegas, and we'll see if Derek Carr will be able to get the ball to him. I don't disrespect Josh Jacobs because I think he's a killer running back, so he's gonna get his also. So that's for sure. Other than that,
what about the other side of the ball?
Other than that, I do have the Chargers winning this game.
What do you think Justin Herbert's gonna do?
I think he's gonna throw about 3 touchdowns myself.
Okay.
Score wise, the Raiders will put about between 14 and 17 points. The Chargers are gonna go for it. They're gonna put about 34 points.
So we got an agreement. We got the
yeah,
Chargers winning.
yeah, I have the Chargers winning.
Okay, and then we have the Sunday night game.
Woo-wee!
We have 45 or 46-year-old Tom Brady making his 110th season start. Actually, his 110th season, actually. You know, coming out there to go play the Cowboys in Jerry's Playhouse. And, you know, it was very interesting. So this guy retired and then unretired and thought he was going to get Gronk with him to come back from retirement. Gronk said, go screw you. I don't want to. I'm retired. I know when to stop. Tom Brady, you need to learn when to stop. But he says he's going to go out and play. And so Tom Brady's going to start his whatever season, 100th season, you know, to come out there and play.
Seasons. It's not 100
And
years
play
old.
and play the Cowboys. So here's what I got. I got Tampa Bay winning this game.
Oh, finally.
I just think, as usual,
Uh-huh.
every year, ESPN and the rest of these networks, you know what I was about to call them.
Mm-hmm.
As these people, they always want to sweat the Cowboys, and then also Dak Prescott's have a great year.
He always does.
Dak Prescott may have a good year, but the Cowboys are the most overrated team.
Are you Stephen
in
A. Smith?
history
Am I
of
sitting-
the
am I
NFL.
sitting next to
No,
Stephen A.
I'm just
Smith?
so tired of them sweating this team every year, and it's just another one bites the dust when it comes to the Cowboys. They're gonna lose this game. Tom Brady will somehow find a way to win this game. You know, score-wise, I don't know what numbers he'll put up.
High scoring game.
Probably put like 3 touchdowns.
This is going to be a high-scoring game.
I got it. I don't know, Mike. I'm not sure about that because Tampa Bay does have a good defense. And Dak Prescott, to me, is somewhat careless with the ball a lot of times. He just seems like he's nervous when he throws the ball. He's like, he's one of those players I can't really trust, especially when it comes into
Man, the guy's getting you 10, 11 wins is, I don't know.
what's he doing in the playoffs?
That's a little tough.
Nothing.
It's a little tough.
So I got 28-13 Cowboys. No, actually, no, I take that back. 28-10 Buccaneers, not Cowboys.
Oh, okay. All right.
28-10 Bucks.
Yep.
That's what I got.
Tom Brady's arm is fresh. He hasn't been doing anything. Unfortunately, he's had trouble with his family. You know, he's fighting with Giselle because she's not happy about him,
Going back
to playing football, which is understandable because you said you were going to leave. I'm happy to see him back. That doesn't make him any better in his household. But football-wise, I had the Buccaneers winning because Tom Brady's going to have a statement game also. Show you that, yeah, I'm old, but you know what? I still got this killer arm, and I'm still Tom Brady. And not to mention, he does have a good little backup. He has Leonard Fournette that's going to be drilling that ball down your throat. You know, he still has a good wide receiving core. You got Mike Evans still out there. You still got Chris Godwin, even though he's hurt. You know, he did tear his ACL and MCL, so he's not going to be starting. But they did pick up Julio Jones, you know. So I think he's going to have a renaissance.
Okay, what's wrong with Mike Evans?
Mike Evans? Nothing. It's Chris Godwin.
But he has Mike Evans.
Yeah, he has Mike Evans.
Okay. But he is losing Gronk. He doesn't have Gronk.
Well, that's his tight end.
But he always finds someone. That's what got Julio Jones he may not be able to run, but he'll probably still be able to be open to catch a 20-yard pass.
Do your job, and they will.
Do your job.
Do your job. So I got the Bucks winning this.
Mm-hmm. What about the other side of the ball? Dak and company.
Well, Dak.
And the overrated Cowboys.
Dak is going to do his thing. It's game one. His arm is fresh too. And you're right. He does make some mistakes, and Tampa Bay has a pretty good defense. So I have him throwing 2 touchdowns, but he's going to have an interception in this game. That's going to happen. Other side of the ball, wide receiving core-wise, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they have that good of a core. I mean, I'm looking at the names here, and Michael Gallup, he blew out his ACL. He's out. CeeDee Lamb, he's out. He has foot issues.
No, the running back.
I mean, there's really no one that's going to be catching this ball, and that's the problem they have.
Elliott. He's talking
Zeke,
about he wants to have himself an MVP season, doesn't he?
How much Zeke can affect this game? I mean, he's going to get his. He's probably going to get 100 rushing yards, maybe.
Can he give it? When's the last time he got 100 yards?
Well, he had.
How many did he go on that streak that he had?
He had a bad season last year.
Do you think that's going to get better for a running back?
Yes, it's a whole new season. He had a good amount of time.
He's at that part of his career where he has to produce this year. Decline. It's pretty much over it for him.
He might end up here.
So you got the Cowboys.
Yeah, I got the Bucks with him. Tom Brady. Come on.
You didn't say the score though.
Come on now.
You didn't say the score.
34-20.
Okay.
34-20.
And then the week 1 Monday night game, debut Monday night game. We have there's no more double headers on Monday night.
No.
Finally got that's the one game like it should be, and that's the Denver Broncos and the Seahawks.
Is this not another revenge game?
This is. Well, I don't know if you want to call it revenge because didn't Russell Wilson want out of Seattle?
Initially he said he did not want to go anywhere, but they let him go though.
So now he's going to the Broncos, and the Broncos are expecting to be contend this year.
Did you see how much money they paid that man?
Yes, I did. He just got a freshman contract. I don't think it's going to make a difference.
For 5 years.
Yeah. That they need more than just Russell Wilson to do anything. But in this game, I do got them beating the Seahawks, and I do got Russell Wilson taking revenge.
Absolutely.
We see how bad the Seahawks look. They're going to be another bad team.
Yes.
They're not competing for the draft.
And Geno starting for them? Man, that's going to be a problem.
It's not so much him as the rest of the team. They just don't have anybody there. But, I mean, they're rebuilding. They have to go through rebuilding, so I don't think you're going to be seeing Pete Carroll jumping on the field celebrating much this season.
Well, you got to think about it. They still have Tyler Lockett, great wide receiver. They still have DK Metcalf, which is one of the fastest people in the NFL. Big man, kind of like Megatron type big. And he still has a good, they still have a good wide receiving core. But who's throwing the ball? Geno or Drew Lock? Are they going to be the ones that's going to win the game?
Most likely it's going to be Geno Smith. Drew Lock might not. No. We'll see. It doesn't matter. You're right.
Broncos
going to be horrible.
Broncos 30-10.
Okay. I got probably I might even say 34-13. And the Broncos will have I don't know. With them it's kind of iffy. I wouldn't be very surprised if they go 8-9 or 9-8.
Some of the Broncos?
Yeah,
I get them winning over 8 games.
And I mean that's what I think. So Seahawks are gonna be garbage, horrible. They'll be horrible. But those are our picks. Now we're gonna end the show off with a little bit of the Bulls talk. We got our picks for the season for week 1. Now we're gonna get into a little bit of Bulls because Mike here had a comment he wanted to say about Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
What did you want to say about Lonzo Ball and the Bulls?
So I like Lonzo, and I think Lonzo is a good player when he's on the court. And I feel like right now, with the state of the league, with every little injury, they feel like they need to be out for 6 months, 8 months at a time. I mean, why is it some players are able to come back 2 months later, and then some group of players are out for almost a year just milking it, getting paid. Now, it's not my pockets, and I'm not counting their money. But at the end of the day, look at what's going on. This guy was hurt, and he had surgery on his leg. And he's still saying that he's not. They're still saying he's not going to be able to start.
And don't forget, we're still about a month and what? A month and so before the season starts. He's not going to be in
camp at all. He's going to miss camp. He's not even going to start. So at this point, in my opinion, because I remember when he had knee issues with the Lakers, he was sat out almost a year after injuring his knee. And now this ongoing thing saying he has this discomfort. Now, should he stay? In my opinion, no. Obviously, he is injury prone, so there's no point in keeping you because every other step you're gonna take, you're gonna have problems. You're gonna be just rehabbing all the time. We're trying to win a championship. We're trying. We made the playoffs. We're trying to win a championship. Sitting at home, nursing your leg, nursing your knee for as long as possible, like Derrick Rose did when he was here, it's just not gonna work. Ayo Dosunmu is gonna start in your place, and he will take your place real quick because he is so talented. So what I'm saying, Lonzo, rethink what you're doing, man. I mean, I get it. You're still getting those millions sitting there just working out, but get on out there and claim your place on the team, or else you're gonna be shipped out next year. I can see that coming already.
Wow. We don't talk much about the Bulls until the season gets closer. That's coming up actually next month.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot more to get on with the Bulls and this situation as the coming weeks and the next month comes around when training camp starts. Already we're over a month before that happens, and he's already saying he ain't gonna start the season.
Well, really quick, I know I'm gonna cap this off 2 more minutes. This NBA season is gonna be terrific. There's gonna be a lot for us to talk about because, for one, look at all the trades that happened and the trades that didn't happen. For one, this is a big surprise. Wake up, look at my phone. Oh, Donovan Mitchell somehow is in Cleveland. What? Where did that even come from? There was no talk about him even going there. Everything was talking about him going to New York, right? It was all about New York, and there was another team. I can't remember, but mostly it was all about New York. And all of a sudden, he ends up.
Well, it's a smart move for Utah because Utah, they got 3 first-round picks.
Yep.
And basically moving them out the conference. They don't have to worry about them.
Yep.
So I mean, we'll see what happens. Is it going to pay off? I think it's going to help Utah more. It's going to help Cleveland.
Rudy Gobert is in Minnesota.
Well, they went through a complete rebuild.
That's going to be a
It's going to
killer.
have Clarkson and what's his name? And,
Who's going to score inside
Conley.
in Minnesota when you got Cat 7 foot something, you got Rudy Gobert 7 foot something waiting for you down there? Who's it's like the Twin Towers,
drive down the field, drive down the low, and pull him in foul trouble. That's what'll happen.
That's not gonna happen.
That's what'll happen. That's what the good teams will do against them.
But I mean, we'll get more into it because I know we're almost an hour and a half into our show. But we'll be back next week. We'll have a little bit more NBA, but we definitely going to talk about the football games that happened.
Yep, go over the results of what happened in the upcoming season. Because we started the show right at the beginning of the playoffs, so we got into the regular season. So we're going to get into week 2, go over week 1's results, talk about week 2, and any other news that comes across between that time, between now and then, any significant news. And maybe even if we need to, throw in an extra show in if we can, if it's necessary. We've been out for a little while, so we can get a little bit of a longer show.
Yeah.
Yep. So with that being said, thank you for listening and watching, and you can catch us on all of the major podcasting networks that play podcasts, like
Apple Music. You'll find us on Spotify,
Google Music, Google Podcast, and all the other ones as well. So with that being said, I'm Frank. This is Mike, who's back. And thank you for listening and watching Sports Opinions with Regular Guys, Season 2, Episode 1.
Yep. See you
guys. Take it easy and see you next week. Peace.
Peace.